it is important to note the differences between what happened in Mar-a-Lago and what happened with uh, President Biden's documents. The similarities are that they both had classified documents in their possession, which is in their property somewhere, or somewhere where they had control over that particular property or that office. What is not similar about the two is that Donald Trump took thousands of documents, of which over 300 were classified. So far, that is not the case with Joe Biden. Joe Biden we know so far, has taken a handful of classified documents as opposed to 300. And the number of documents recovered and voluntarily turned over by Biden's lawyers uh, are far outnumbered by the documents that were found in Mar-a-Lago, number one. Number two, Joe Biden's lawyers and Joe Biden proactively contacted the National Archives and told them that they had the documents and they turned these documents over. That was not the case with Donald Trump's documents. Donald Trump's documents, actually, NARA found out from their overview of the documents and review of the documents they received from the Trump White House, that they were missing significant chunks of documents. When they reached out to Donald, they got some of the documents, and they didn't get most of it. Donald Trump didn't cooperate with NARA. He lied to NARA. He said, yeah, in the face of it, but he lied because he retained more documents. Then in the middle of last year, I think it's in May or something, Donald Trump's lawyers signed an affidavit swearing that they are now turning over all the documents, including a packet of classified documents, and saying this is it, we don't have any more. Well, that was also a lie, because the FBI and the National Archives determined after those documents are turned over in May that there were more documents that Donald had, simply by looking at the lags in the records that they had. And then Donald Trump's residence in Mar-a-Lago got searched by a lawful search warrant by the FBI. That part is not necessary with Joe Biden, because President Biden has repeatedly said that he is currently cooperating with both the National Archives and the Department of Justice to make sure that all the documents are properly put back where they belong. So the criminal element of what happened in Mar-a-Lago is not present with Joe Biden, simply because Joe Biden didn't exhibit bad faith. He didn't lie. He didn't obstruct the authorities, the government, from getting the documents that belong to the government. In fact, Joe Biden proactively returned the documents and has been receptive and cooperative with authorities who are now reviewing his other properties to make sure he doesn't have other documents. So it rests on the bad faith and the good faith of people, of what they do with it is the unlawful retention of the documents in bad faith, the obstruction of justice with the intention of withholding the documents, the lying under oath, under sworn testimony by his lawyers. That's what makes this a criminal investigation for Donald Trump. Those elements are not present with Joe Biden. That being said, the nature of the documents and everything, all the other facets of the investigation have to be resolved by the investigator who has been appointed to the Joe Biden investigation. And you don't see Joe Biden coming out and attacking the FBI. You don't see Joe Biden coming out and attacking the National Archives. You don't see Joe Biden coming out and attacking the FBI. You see President Joe Biden cooperating with them. You see President Joe Biden being forthcoming with these documents. None of those things happened with Donald Trump. So keep that in mind as we follow through with what happens with the developments of the documents being recovered in President Joe Biden's possession.